Hello everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I go to work at 4, so I have the entire day off. One of the things I love about bartending is that you work nights, so you have most of the day to do whatever you want. Now, what I want to do in this lesson is go over the process of becoming a bartender. Not how to bartend, but rather a bird's eye view of the path to take to become a working bartender. First, we have the beginning of your journey. You are someone who wants to become a bartender. The thing is, you have no experience. So, where do you start? Now, the first thing I have to say is to not get discouraged. People find themselves in a catch-22 with bartending because of two things. They cannot bartend because to get a bartending job, you need experience. But if you have no experience, how do you start? And the second is, you cannot bartend because you do not have a bartender's license. Now, I'm going to break those two myths. The first one is, in today's day and age, you can learn so many things from the comfort of your home using information from the internet. And I'm telling you, bartending is one of those things you can learn online. If you take an online course properly, and I'm going to show you how to do that. In fact, I'm going to show you how to practice bartending at home, how I practice bartending at home. Now, the second myth that you need a bartender's license to bartend is that the secret is you do not need a bartending license to bartend anywhere. Ask anyone you know who are bartenders, and they will tell you they did not waste their money on a school that gives a license because it's a sham. I unfortunately fell into that trap and thought that I needed to get one, and it was the worst investment I ever made in my life. I did not know how to get a job after, and I did not know how to really bartend after it. In fact, I failed my first couple of interviews and trial runs miserably. But with saying that, there are two certifications you should get that are universally recognized. Now, I'll tell you what these are later on in this video, but the first step that you need to do is to learn how to bartend. So, how do you do that? The answer I would recommend is taking an online course. Me personally, from what I learned going to bartending school, I wish I just took an online course because you can learn the exact same information, if not more information from an online course, from the comfort of your home on your own time, and usually in much less time. For example, my course takes a total of 2 hours. And yes, people will say you need to have hands-on experience that a in-person bartending school offers, but you can still get that hands-on experience by following along with the online course. How do you do that? That is by buying the equipment that the course uses. For example, my course, all you need is a shaker, a jigger, a mixing glass, strainer, and then once you have all the equipment, follow along with the course so you get that muscle memory. Now, I'm going to cover how I practice at home when there are drinks that I have to learn. Say there's a new cocktail menu I need to know for the next day. What I do is I make flashcards for the drinks and I go over them while using my equipment. So the first flashcard is margarita. Okay, so I know it's a shaker's drink, then 1.5 tequila, 1 triple sec, 0.75 ounces of lime, ice, shake, and pour. Okay, let's see if I got it right. Margarita, 1.5 tequila, 1 triple sec, 0.75 lime juice, shake, pour. Yes, I got it right. And I go over it over and over until I have it down. And what this does is it builds the muscle memory. Now, the first step is learning how to bartend, and it is the most important step because all you need to do after that is getting your resume and image ready to start applying to jobs. Here's a trick to have 2 valuable certifications to put on your resume: getting your ServSafe certification and your ETIPS certification. Now, going back to my lecture on safety, these 2 certifications will train you on how to keep your bar more safe. And these 2 certifications are frequently asked for everywhere. I think 8 out of 10 places that I've applied to, one of the first things they've asked me is if I have one of these certifications. They are both under $40 each and they take about 2 to 3 hours each. Definitely worth your time. And they can both be taken online. I'll also provide the links in the description and the resource section of this lesson. So, after you take these courses, you can put these 2 things on your resume under certifications. Now, I'm going to show you my first resume I used. As you can see, not a lot of stuff, no bartending experience. There are the 2 certifications I just mentioned there. And here's my training and a bio about myself, what I was doing and what I wanted to do. I definitely recommend having a picture of yourself. Wear something nice that you can see yourself wearing behind the bar. For men, it is a black button down, and for women, it's also a black button down. I have some more experience down here, any job you have worked in the past. And if you have no hospitality experience, write down your training and put the name of the online course. What I had was my previous job working for an oil and gas company, and I also had some experience working at a catering company, and I put working as bartender/server. Even if you did not bartend for a catering company, put down bartender/server. Now the next part 3, is getting yourself out there, applying to jobs, getting experience in the hospitality industry. Now this is the point where you may get lucky. You may know someone, a family friend who owns a restaurant, who can hire you straight out as a bartender. But if you do not have any experience or do not know anyone, you may have to work your way up the totem pole. So taking a job at a high-end restaurant as a server may not be a bad start, or starting as a barback at a bar. Only thing with these situations is that you always have to constantly be reminding your managers and bosses that you want to bartend one day. So the first thing you should do is reach out to all your contacts and see if they know anyone who can help you get a job as a bartender. I'm putting this as number 1 because this can be a game changer. If a family friend or a close friend of yours or anyone that can get you a job and can sometimes start you immediately as a bartender, and they will just train you up to speed without you having to work your way up the totem pole, as I said. Now, if you do not know anyone, search online. Craigslist is a great resource. Look on it daily under jobs, under food, beverage, and hospitality. If you see a job looking for a bartender, send your resume in and ask for an interview. Looking for catering companies in your area. This is such a great hack to have on your resume. This is what I was talking about before and what I actually put on my first resume. Once you work for a catering company on a couple of gigs, you can put down server/bartender on your resume. Even if you worked just 1 gig, you can still put it on your resume. Now, the final thing to do is get your nice clothing out, resume, groom yourself to look nice, and walk into every bar and restaurant you could see yourself working at. Once you're in, ask the person at the front desk if you could speak to a manager. And when the manager comes over to you, ask if they're looking for bartenders. If they ask what kind of experience you have, tell them that you worked some catering events as a bartender and you're looking for a more permanent position because you really enjoyed bartending a lot. And do not forget to mention you have your ServSafe and ETIPS certifications. And that is it. Just repeat part 3 until you land a job in the hospitality industry. Now, all of these steps will be in the resources section. So to sum everything up, Catering companies are a great way to get your feet wet and a fast way to get experience on the resume. They're also easy to get bartending experience if you let that catering company know that you want to bartend some events. If you do get a job as a server or a barback, keep reminding the manager that you want to be a bartender one day. Also, every bar that you go to, watch what the bartenders are doing. And lastly, practice your technique at home. Do not be afraid to walk into a high-end bar and say that you want to bartend. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Well, that is it, everyone. If you are interested in learning how to bartend, please check out my online bartending Mastercourse. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Well, I gotta go start getting ready for work. Bye, everyone.